is a flower that blooms from within. There's a sweetness that flows from God's hands. There is a light for every darkness there ever was. There is a guidance that shines filled with love. Oh, love. Be the love, be the truth, be the place where light shines through. Be the love, be the truth, be the voice that lives and soothes. Be the love, be the truth, be the place where life is new. Be the love, be the truth, be the one that God can use today. Oh, this is the day. Yeah. My life I live as a testament, thy will to do and honor you. My love for you inside my breast is here always. God does the rest. Calm my nerves, hold my hand, lift me up. I take a stand. I will be here. I am the place. I am the one. This is the day. This is the day for peace. This is the day for love. This is the day for me. This is the day for us. This is the day. 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 This
Thank you. I started working with intentions over 20 years ago. I was thinking about it, it was way over 20 years ago. We were still in the Northgate property, so that was a long time ago. So how many of you remember Northgate? Oh, some of you still remember Northgate. Remember the short little ceiling? They hired me because I fit. No, really, you'd have to have been there. You'd have to have been there. No, when you have an 8-foot ceiling and then put a stage on it, I could go like this and hit my head. No hallelujahs. I mean, can't get too excited. So I was the short one that candidated and they hired me. It pays to be short sometimes. The other two people would not have fit. I mean, really. God, they were great. They just wouldn't have fit. Anyway, so I've been doing this for a long time, and we talk about having high and holy intentions. And high and holy intentions are not so much about fixing as they are about expressing. So it's not so much what you want as what wants you to want it. It sounds kind of convoluted, but really everything is a cycle and circles back on itself. And when you know your true heart's felt longing, what you really long for inside, it's something that really wants to be expressed and be known in the world. Because we do live in a universe, a one song, a unity. I read this recently from Michael Meade. The new year is not something before us. It is something hidden within us, trying to find light. Don't wait for the right gift to be given you. Look inside, and find the holy message trying to be opened. So that's what we're doing today, is finding that holy message and opening it up. But as I said, good ideas expand and move out. And what I've noticed is, by watching Facebook and other things, is that there's a lot of groups, individuals, and churches now doing this same thing that we've been doing for 20-some years. It's a thing where people are looking at intentions, forming them, creating them, speaking them, writing them down. It's all good. But what I want to do today is take what we've been doing and take it a little bit deeper. Because an intention can be at the level of hope, want, and wish. And hope's not bad. Do you know that in the Parliament of World Religions that happened in Salt Lake City last summer, what they said the world needed right now, most of the world needs hope. Because if you don't hope, you can't look, you can't even conceive. So I'm not saying hope's a bad thing, but it does not have the power of intention. So intention is about, it's a co-creative power. It is something that wants to be birthed and emerge from you. So today, we want to look at your intentions, or a deep want, or a deep what that wants to be expressed in your life. And I say that because purpose is a what. Purpose is a what. What? It's not a how. Too many people get hooked on how. If you get hooked on how, it'll be very difficult to think about what. A lot of people, I watched them. What do I want? Well, how would I do it? Okay, go like this. Take your hands. Now put what in one hand. I don't care which one you put it in. Put what in a hand and hold it. Now put how in another hand and hold it. Now put them apart. Thank you. Let them down. Keep them apart. Like two siblings that want to fight, keep them away from each other, at least through this talk. Because if you get how mixed up with what, you will get all convoluted, which is not where we want to go today. By the way, who's on first? No. What you intend must support your purpose, which is why. Why you do anything. Why your purpose must support why you incarnated. And this is an advertisement for the workshop on Saturday. To know the why helps you with all the whats. How's that for driving you crazy? Let's just work on what. Today, just what. So, there is a deep, deep desire, I believe, in all of us that it's almost our next evolutionary step. You, individually, to evolve spiritually. There is a thing that seems like it's something that you want, but it wants you, and to get there, you have to become more than your current self. It pulls you. Judge Thomas Troward defined intent or intention as something that you intend it's in the future, but you make it so much part of yourself that it draws you. So you're being drawn by your future instead of running from your past. And in that end is the means. So the how takes care of itself. A little bit more on intentions. Your intention, a high and holy intention, will bring you deep satisfaction and fulfillment. It's a high and holy intention because high means that it comes from beyond your thinking process. How many of you have ever had downloads of thoughts that you know that didn't come from you? I mean, me being told I was going to be a minister that came from someplace else. That's why I paid attention to it. Because no way on earth did I want to be a minister, and given my past, no one thought I ever would. Just saying. Luckily, there was no Facebook when I was growing up. No Instagrams and no cell phones with picture capabilities everywhere. But anyway, something said, out of nowhere, you're going to be a minister, and I complied because I knew it wasn't my idea. High ideas or high thoughts are angels. Angels are always ideas that lift you. And a holy intention, so it's a high and holy intention. A holy intention is a holy intention because it's holistic. It includes everything. It's not a fix that we can pray about and kind of manipulate and will into existence. Because oftentimes we will will something into existence. We'll use the power of mind to get something, but it wasn't holistic. It didn't encompass all of our life. And so we have to pray ourselves out of our answered prayer. Done that? Oh my goodness, I got it. I got a job like that once. Oh no. And then I spent years praying myself out. So, please God, save me from this job that I wanted and prayed for a very long time. Anyway, it's holistic, so it's a high and holy intention. And we're going to open up to that. Today, I'm telling you what's going to happen. I want you to be open to a high and holy intention. Then you're going to have an opportunity or given a chance to tell someone that high and holy intention. You will be listened to, witnessed, and blessed. Because, quoting the Bible, since Kathianne's on a roll, to paraphrase, where two or more are gathered and agree upon anything, it is done on earth as it is in heaven. So to hear someone affirm you in your intention is a very powerful thing. So there will be that opportunity. So you're going to listen deeply. You're going to be affirmed and blessed. And but we've got to do something before that. Because I've done this for years. Remember I said I've been doing it 20 years. And I'm always wondering why some intentions come about and some don't. How many of you have ever thought about that? How many of you have had something show up without even trying? How many of you have had an intention and it goes nowhere? I love that. I love that. See, when I was growing up, I wanted to be a scientist. I love science. I love looking at the experiments, going into the lab, seeing what happens, and then trying to figure out a formula that would support what happens. And what I've noticed in my life and in others is that sometimes things happen and sometimes they don't. And I think that sometimes things happen and sometimes they don't because according to Gary Zukav, we always act out of our intentions even if we're not aware of what our intentions are. So some intentions that we call intentions are nothing more than hopes, wishes, and wants. And we, fluff them up and turn the heat down. Fluff them up and say they're intentions, but they're not intentions. They're just hopes, wishes, and wants. Now, why don't they become real intentions? Let me show you a graph. We'll have slide 1. All right, so you see 9 dots, right? All right, so for those of you that have played this game before, just play along. Don't share with your friends. All right, 9 dots. What I'm challenging you to do is to connect those 9 dots with 4 lines, and you can't lift your finger. If you had a pencil, you'd have a pencil. So you can't, you have to how can you connect these 9 dots with 4 strokes of your finger or a pencil, and Joey's on it right now. Yeah, I love it. A lot of people would end up with something like this. Slide 2. There's 4 lines, but unfortunately the one in the middle gets left out, which means we can't do it. Now, if you stay within that rectangle, was supposed to be a square, if you stay within that rectangle, it's absolutely impossible to connect all the dots with 4 lines. The only way to connect the dots with 4 lines is to go outside the box, which a lot of people don't want to do. So let's have the third one. So see, if you go long, 1 up, see how this line goes way above? It goes so far above it can connect these, and this goes so far out it can connect these, and then it can go up this way. This is the field of all possibilities, which includes what is beyond your current experience. The dots are your current experience. And oftentimes, people set intentions, but they set intentions constrained by their current experience. And so, in a way, the intentions get shrunk down in your head whether you know it or not, because you're not thinking of all possibilities. Deepak Chopra called the universe the field of all possibility. Ernest Holmes said that this is a vast creative intelligence that responds to our thinking. But if our thinking is small, our results will be small. And so we could say, I have this intention, but we're also thinking within the normal square of these dots by saying things like, but nothing will ever change, it's too late, I'm too late, I don't see how this can possibly happen, how? Now, how many of you have still put how away from what? It's very important, because oftentimes when what springs up, how, its cousin, wants to be right by it. But that, as soon as you get into how, you get into how you would make it happen, how you could conceive of it happening, and you stay in the box. And the field of all possibilities says, break out. There's more to be considered. And in the coming of age program, they say, there's more to be revealed. Well, there's more to be considered too. We can consider more. So, how do we do that? How do we break outside the box? We're going to have a meditation here, because I can tell you this and you can think about it, but it's different if you actually have an experience. And because we're here with quite a few people, it'll be easier to have this experience. So we're going to go into a meditation. How many of you, as soon as I say meditation, your stomach goes? You can tell the truth, just one of you. I bet you have a twin. Anyone else not like the word meditation? See, there's 4 of you. You could go to brunch. It'll be a guided experience. A guided experience so that we have the opportunity of leaving what we think is normal. Because if we stay with what we think is normal, we'll stay within the confines of our invisible intentions. See, if Gary Zukav is right and we're always acting out of our intentions, sometimes we have hidden intentions even though we have a stated intention. So we're going to have a meditation to let us rise above that. Then you'll have an opportunity to fill out your intentions card. And then you'll have an opportunity to have that intention that you come up with witnessed, listened to, witnessed, and blessed. But before we get started, are there any people that don't have intentions cards that still need them? Oh yeah, we got bunches. And look at our ushers. They're flying through the air with the greatest of ease. Okay, maybe they're walking on the ground. Getting intentions cards out. This is great. We back way over there. Way over there. We got some on the sides. How'd this happen? You guys are sneaking in, aren't you? Huh. sneakers. Still more intentions cards. I love this. All right, so while they're getting intentions cards, let me give you an illustration of having an intention and yet a hidden intention. Remember, Gary Zukav says you're always acting out of your intentions. So, if we haven't had intentions happen before, it could be that we can't really see ourselves there. So we want to go forward, but we're just mired in it's almost like quicksand. We just can't move forward because we can't intend our mind there. The other thing is that in the how, we think that to have our intention, we would have to pay too big a price. So we don't really intend it, we just wish for it. I'll give you an illustration because I was looking at this pretty deeply last night because I really wanted to know what I could do to support all of us in having the life we want and knowing the power of intentions. And this was what was downloaded to me by the Holy Spirit. And the Holy Spirit's just another name I call divine wisdom, just to make it more personal. Hello. When I was growing up, I told myself, and I was told, that I was very uncoordinated. So I didn't try a lot of sporty stuff because I thought I was uncoordinated. And sure enough, I was. I was told I didn't have good hand-eye coordination, and I didn't. And I was told I didn't have depth perception, and I didn't. It took me 2 years to learn how to cross-country ski. And at the end of that 2 years, the guy that was taking me cross-country skiing broke up with me, so darn. But I was really getting good there at the very end. And it took me a long time. So it takes me a long time to kind of get things. Well, because of that, in high school, I was very, very bad. Well, I wasn't bad. I got B's instead of A's in PE. Remember PE? Jeez. Except for one term when we were having gymnastics. Now, it doesn't sound like an uncoordinated person would do well in gymnastics, but I noticed, and I don't know how I noticed, but it was like a download from something greater than myself. That I saw that even though I was telling the teacher I was trying my best to do the cartwheels, I was trying my best to do the vaulting, I was trying my best to do the tumbles, I was trying my best, what I got was I wasn't because I was afraid I would hurt myself because I'm uncoordinated. So my intention was not to do those things even though I said my intention was to do those things. My intention was to not hurt myself. So I would kind of act like I was going to do it. And then I'd, stumble and say, it's not my fault. But something one time just was a poof, like I was so young, I don't know why I saw it. And I saw that if I wanted to, I could. And all of a sudden, I was not afraid to put my head below my feet. I was not afraid to vault over things. It's the only time in all of high school that I got an A in a PE class. Because my intention went from not hurting myself to excelling. See, I think if it's true that we're always living out of our intentions, sometimes our intentions, the ones that are really operating, aren't clear to us. I got that information. I don't know how I got that information. It was definitely not me because most teenagers don't think that way. But it was a moment of being lifted up. So, the purpose of our first meditation is to leave what you think is normal and to leave what you think is possible, so that you can hear the voice of God speak to you about what your heart yearns to express. And you know what? I'd always wanted to excel in PE. And then other things happen, like don't want to sweat. It's really hard to run around if your intention's not to sweat. So are you ready? Any questions? Let's begin. And this will be a guided meditation, which just means actually I'm going to give you something to think about so your mind can stop directing your thinking and you can direct your thoughts. That's all meditation is. Meditation is nothing more than mastering this beautiful, fabulous instrument that all of us were given that's called the mind. So sit in your chair and become aware of your chair. Become aware of the weight of your body on the chair. Become aware of your feet on the ground. Become aware of where your hands are and how they're sitting. Where are they at? Be aware of where your shoulders are. Be aware of your breath. Be aware of how you hold your head. Be aware of your back against the back of the seat. And now we're going to leave this body. You are so intelligent and so much bigger than you think you are that you can leave your conscious awareness from your body. You can leave and the body will be okay. But we're going to take our conscious awareness someplace else, beyond the confines of this room. So imagine now that your self-awareness is rising up outside of your body and being lifted to the roof of this room. You're being lifted so that you can look down on yourself and the rest of the people in the room. You're being lifted, lifted, gently hovering, easy and effortlessly. You just let yourself rise above what you have called yourself. Because so many of us identify with just the body, and we're so much more, so much more. Now take a deep breath with your body and move out through the roof, outside the building, moving farther away from the building, looking down on it in the parking lot. See your car. See Lake Washington. See the Cascades rise up, rise up. Look at the houses. Look it over the hill. Look into the Olympics. Rise up, rise up. Turn your attention to Mount Rainier. How wonderful. Easy and effortlessly, you just rise above what you know to be true, what you think is reality. Rise up and see Seattle and Bellevue and Lake Washington and Puget Sound, Lake Union. Watch out, there's a plane taking its final course towards SeaTac to land. Continue to rise and see the state, but there's no lines. Isn't it amazing? The state has no lines. From your new point of view, Washington runs into Canada, runs into Oregon. My goodness, mixing and mingling. Continue to rise and rise and rise and rise and rise and look at our beautiful planet. And as you're going up, you're also going out, and you're not confined anymore. You just spread out. You are in the field of all possibility. where new things are thought up and things are created. And if God could say, let there be, so can you, because you are an expression of that creative impulse. You are a chip off that old block. You are one with the one. And you are now in that place of considering what you will have in your life. What would bring you deep satisfaction and profound fulfillment? What would be your high and holy intention for 2016? From the vastness of all that is possible, what are you being called to birth? Not only for yourself, but for the world. I will ask you a question. I'll ask you two questions. And let that deep, wonderful, profound love intelligence that you are answer. So you're not answering out of habit. You're answering out of highness. The first question is, from this high and holy place, how can you make the world just a bit better? How are you being called to make the world a bit better? And from this high and holy place, what are you being called to intend? With God as your partner, what is your high and holy intention for this year? What are you being called to become, to express, to be? And when you have received your download, when the answers are part of you, write them down on your intention card. If you don't receive anything, that's perfectly okay, because some people are like me and it occurs later. Doesn't matter. If you ask the question, the answer is waiting to be revealed. And our wonderful prayer practitioners are coming forward while you're writing your intention down. And when you have a card filled out and you're ready to, if you want, share what your intention is. Keep how you're going to make the world a better place. Keep that to yourself, because we're going to work with that in future Sundays. But for right now, if you would like to have your intention heard, witnessed, and blessed, because there's some power in that. You know, I was thinking about this last night. I love God. I don't sleep at all because I keep getting downloads. I want to say, shut up already. But there's a phrase that says confession is good for the soul. And we always think, at least I always thought, that confession means that I confess my sins. What if I confess my greatness? What if I confess the high and holy intention that's being birthed in me? It's good for the soul. It's good to say, I intend this. It's good to have someone hear it. It's good to have someone say, I believe in you. I believe in it. It's good. So if you want to partake, stand up, come forward, and be blessed. Right there. Oops, no.
That's why I was excited. Excuse me.
Thanks for starting. Thanks. I'm going to ask the blessers to do what I instructed them to do. They know what that is. Happy New Year. Right there. we're starting to wind down, so if you've been thinking I'll get to it, now might be the time to get to it. Now is the time. I thank all of you brave people that would actually come forward and be witnessed. How lovely is that? And those who have finished blessing can sit down. I always forget things, lose things, but I'm stopping that. On your card it says, with Spirit as my partner, I intend. That's a very important part. Because if it's something that you could do, it's not big enough. If you could do it by yourself, it's not big enough. A high and holy intention lifts you higher, and it will make you bigger. And the only way you're going to get it done is with divine backing. So that's a high and holy intention. That's what I wish for you. Because to have that intention in your life, you have to grow in your understanding of yourself and your God and the universe that loves you. So you don't go to it, you grow into it. You become the bigger person. So I love Kathianne's story. Yeah, she may have wanted to get out of debt, but what she became to get out of debt is financially free. To be a free individual. No longer fighting against doing budgets and doing this and doing that. She's no longer fighting, she's free. And, oh, by the way, she's out of debt. That's what we're teaching here. So I love and bless each intention that has been heard inside the individual, and each intention that has been spoken by the individual, each intention that is written down, and each intention that's still in embryonic stage, waiting to burst onto the scene. I bless this year. I bless it. I bless it for each and every person here, and for the people that we know and the people we will influence. Hallelujah. And so it is.